He starred in hit films Red Dragon and Made in Manhattan, and now the very busy actor is about to release his latest project, Spider. In the movie, Fáin plays a schizophrenic man trying to piece his life back together after being released from a mental institution.
I will not be here that long. Nor did I expect to be. But it is a loud world. And this is an island. But an island, sir, ruled by a tyrant queen that has the power to send any one of us back to where we came from. The asylum, I mean.
Ralph Fiennes, good morning to you. Thanks for being with us this morning. It's a very complex film, and I don't want to give it away too much, so you tell me what it's about.
It's about a man called Spider, who we first see arriving at what we call a halfway house. He's left a mental institution, psychiatric hospital, and this is a place where he starts to be integrated back into the community, and it's pretty run down. It's a depressing place, and it's actually in the area where he grew up. And the film really is about him remembering his childhood, so it essentially flashes back. And you actually see him watching himself as a child with his parents. And you see him, as it were, witness the unfolding of quite a disturbing circumstance around his mother and his father. And I think some people will find it hard to... The man, Spider is confused. He's got two different kinds of memories trying to battle with each other.
Right.
And the film shows both. So the audience have to go on the journey of this quite confusing story, which is the state of his mind.
How difficult was it for you to get into Spider's head? What kind of research did you do to really delve into the depths of mental illness?
Well, when Patrick McGrath, who wrote the novel, he was trying to write the mind of a schizophrenic. When David Cronenberg came on board to direct the movie, David was very firm about saying, I'm not making a film, this is going to be a clinically accurate observation of schizophrenia. As it happens, from the research I did, schizophrenia takes many forms, from people who, as you said earlier, are able to function quite normally, to people who clearly are unable to cope with any kind of normality. So I was told by one doctor, you can sort of do what you want. I mean, there are people whose faces twitch and spasm all the time. There are people who are talking under their breath a bit and mumbling to themselves. And there are people who are apparently normal until when they speak, they start to tell you stuff and you think, what is this? So I met some people who were afflicted with schizophrenia. I read and I talked to people who work with schizophrenics. But David Cronenberg was and I think this was right, he didn't want to be fettered by having to say, is this accurate, what kind of drugs is Spider taking, what particular type of schizophrenia is he? It
was about more than that.
He wanted it, as a way, imaginatively to run free, and that gave me freedom as an actor too, because I mean, especially the drug thing, they're all treated with drugs now.
I've seen your career and followed you for years. Are you drawn to roles like what you played in The English Patient and Schindler's List, and now Spider, who is somewhat sympathetic but dark? Are you drawn to these kinds of roles?
Well, I suppose I'm just interested in where people, there's an ambivalence in people's inner life where they're not necessarily, I mean, the guy in Schindler's List is clearly psychopathic. The Almash in The English Patient is he's a man whose emotions have been held down and sort of, as it were, repressed, but he's not screwed up in any way. He's a sort of focused, driven person who suddenly meets a woman and he's thrown into disarray emotionally. But I like that conflict inside people. I think the people who are struggling is always interesting. Yeah,
but there was a departure recently in Made in Manhattan. I thought you were fabulous in that.
Thank you. Well, I had a great time on that, and I'd like to do more films like that, like Made in Manhattan.
You know, you were in the movie with Jennifer Lopez, and she and Ben Affleck have a very public existence, and yet we don't hear a whole lot about you in terms of your private life. Is that the way you want it?
Well, I think people make choices, don't they, whether they want to make their private life public or not. And you know, I live with a great actress called Francesca Annis, and we go out when we go out, and we don't, as it were, campaign to get media attention. I don't think that's what we feel like doing. But.
Yeah, the big fish swim deep. Ralph Fiennes, thanks so much.